Good morning, Leo, or good afternoon here. Welcome to your reading with Molly the Starkid from Starkidignited. We're going to jump into your reading for September now. These readings will cover the next 30 days whenever you're attracted to watch this video. So even if you watch this, say in January, in 2025 or something, it's still going to resonate for you. Trust your intuition to guide you to the reading when it's the right time for you to receive it. And let's jump into it. So these are going to be your general spirit messages. It's part one. Part two is always on Patreon, where we look at love, career, and money in more detail. And the link is below. All the information's in the description box. As always, take what resonates, leave the rest. Don't make something fit if it doesn't fit. And yeah, I hope these resonate with you, and I hope you enjoy this message. All right. So Spirit, let's jump into it. What is the message for Leo right now? Okay. Awesome. Okay, cool. So we get card 33 with experiments. Bit creepy. Manipulation of nature, forcing change, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, and arrogance. Okay. And we also get conchomancy. So seashell divination, wisdom of the shells. Okay, cool. Alrighty. So the experiments card talks about, so obviously we have like a manipulative energy around, or you know, that something's forcing change in your life, cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, arrogance. So this can represent another person that you've been dealing with, Leo. We'll jump more into it in your cards and have a look. But the message of this card in this deck is actually like it relates to Atlantis. And so essentially, like, if you know much about New Age stuff, Atlantis was like a lost civilization. There was many different forms of it. It was destroyed. I don't know, I think it was like 20,000 years ago or something like this, but it talks about how they actually manipulated DNA, they manipulated natural forces, and were playing around with things that they didn't really understand. So they had massive amounts of knowledge and power, and they're known for like using crystal healing and being able to access the power of crystals and things like this, but they actually destroyed themselves or something. The whole, like, there was a cataclysm or something that just destroyed everything that they had built and like all the knowledge that they had, and it was due to like getting too far away from like what was truly intended. So like again, like cruelty in the pursuit of knowledge, like experimenting on animals, trying to make hybrid human animal beings. Yeah, there's a lot of different stuff that you can look into in that. But this card talks about how like we get very close to these kind of things now. Like we have the same amount of knowledge, but like while the mind is very developed, the heart hasn't really caught up. There's not enough compassion, humility, and love to be able to kind of balance all that knowledge to create things for the good of all, rather than, as we can see, for example, with like nuclear power, how it was given obviously with a good intention to be able to use to assist the planet and assist us to evolve. But as soon as we use something like that as a weapon, it changes the aura of the of that thing. And so then it's, you know, forever kind of like negatively marked almost. So you might actually have a lot of knowledge of these kinds of things. You might be someone that's very against certain, you know, like certain ways that people are, you know, the ways that like resources are being used in the world. You might be against like, you know, someone who's very passionate about ocean conservation or environmental activism, or maybe even like more on the human side, like against some of like, you know, things like human trafficking, or like, you know, just different things that people, as we are in the information age, are aware of, but we don't often get to decide how different resources are used and the ways that our society organizes. Even just like the amount of people that are living in poverty, while some people have so much money. It can show that, you know, there is an element of you that's very passionate about these causes and wanting to stand up for nature, for the planet, and really work on ways to create win-win situations rather than allowing some to thrive and the majority to, live in hardship and suffering. Okay, so yeah, and this can also this can also represent an inner energy. So oftentimes when we get really wrapped up in these topics, it's because we're also feeling in ourselves like we're being crushed, or we're being, kind of facing darkness on our own. And there's a lot to contend with at this moment. So there might be someone in your life that's causing this, like someone who's trying to manipulate you, who's quite arrogant and really uncaring of your feelings, uncaring of how your own perspective, your own version of reality, these kinds of things, trying to force you into certain changes that might not be right for you. And then we get contromancy. So this talks about seashell divination, wisdom of the shells. So shells might be calling to you. Definitely pay attention to the different shells that you're seeing, like whether it's online, whether it's in your actual daily life, if you live near a beach. If you have some, I've got a little cowrie shell here, and it kind of looks like it's got, I don't know if it'll focus, but the markings kind of look like almost like data sets on this one. It's not going to focus, sorry about that. But yeah, so definitely pay attention, because you might be able to actually be getting divine messages coming through the different shells you see. So look up what the different shells mean. It can also just show that you're using your natural environment to tap in with your intuition, to tap into your spirit guides, your higher self, and to gain different messages and wisdom and guidance for yourself at this time. That's very important. Yeah, let's get further into it. Obviously, as well, this can represent you. So potentially some self-reflection needs to take place of, are you being too arrogant at this time? Are you trying to manipulate something or create change in something that's not meant to happen? But I feel like obviously it's more likely that what I said before, as it came up in the upright, that you're very against these things and you're willing to fight for them. You're willing to step up and be noticed and be a voice of change. Okay, and so how are you feeling about all of this? We're getting the pelican with self-sacrifice. Okay, is there anything further? No. Okay, so yeah, again, you might be sacrificing yourself for a cause, feeling like it's part of your spirit mission, the reason why you incarnated, to really take up this fight and to sacrifice maybe some of your resources or some of your time or your energy to educate people about these things, to start petitions, to find ways. And it could be about anything. It doesn't have to be obviously about the Atlantean stuff, although that's what the card talks about in the book. It can also just be standing up for things that you know aren't right and trying to use your power, use your voice, use your knowledge to help put an end to these things, or bring more awareness to these, to something that you're passionate about, that you feel like serves humanity for the greater good. Okay, so we get sacrifice, and with it we get rock pool healing, we get albatross with endurance, and we get lionfish with individuality, which always reminds me of Leo energy. Okay, so yeah, so one thing with the self-sacrifice card is to remember to make sacrifices that are worth making, and to not burn yourself out, to not feel like you're the only one doing this thing, to, reach out to people in your community who have the same interests or passions as you, so you don't feel like you're going it alone. To just guard against feeling like you're sacrificing too much and not being appreciated. It's fine to be really passionate and to get ourselves out there and want to do something that's valuable and that's important. But with the healing, endurance, and individuality, it feels like you've come to these understandings because you've done a lot of healing work. You've really looked at your inner self, and you've acknowledged the things that were, self-limiting beliefs that were self-sacrifice self-sacrificing. You've acknowledged like where your part to play is in certain things, and you've put the work in to really try to reflect, to understand, and to bring healing to yourself and others. Then with endurance and individuality, it feels like this is something that like you've really had to push yourself to keep going through. It hasn't been something that's just popped up and it's easy. You've had to really work on your endurance, work on your persistence to keep your goal in mind and keep moving forward despite the challenges that you've had. And you've come into a stage where you're able to shine through your own individuality, where you don't need as much validation from other people. You don't need as much pats on the back and support. You know, you're proud of who you are. You're proud of your own viewpoint. You know that that old like religious saying of like, you know, different religions touching different parts of an elephant and describing it as God. Whereas like when it feels like with the individuality card, you realize that the more we can all honor our different perspectives, the more we get a full picture of what's really going on, and then we can assist each other to create a better outcome working together and understanding that. Yeah. And again, like with contromancy here as well, with healing, it just feels like nature and water and the ocean could be really healing to you at this time. You may actually get be able to clear some of like heavy energy, and be like, especially if you do have someone that is or like, even if it's not a physical person, if it's a group or an idea or something that just feels like it's looming over you, the ocean is going to be really helpful in clearing some of that energy, getting the salt water onto your body, releasing all the pent up stuck energy, and feeling that like just like calmness and soothing energy flow over your body and help you to release and not hold on to so much. You can definitely keep doing, you know, like standing up for people and assisting in whatever ways that you are, and feeling really proud of the work that you're doing, but you don't need to feel so heavy all the time. So it is important to go somewhere that's going to help you to release, to let go, and to enjoy the moment as well. Okay, so let's get into tarot and see what's happening, because it's all a bit up in the air. So Spirit, what is Leo's current energy? What is a challenge? Okay. What's the past energy? Well, all right. And what is the upcoming energy? Awesome. And what are they conscious of? What are they focused on? Okay, and what is the unconscious energy that's affecting them right now? Okay. All right, so Leo, for your current energy, you're showing up as the Ace of Swords. So it feels like Spirit has gifted you this truth. You've been able to see the truth of something. Something's cut away all the illusions, and you've got a clear insight into something that's going on in your life. So it definitely makes sense with that experiments card, like being able to see things from a higher perspective and to release old viewpoints, old ideas, old mental like patterns, and to really see something clearly. But right now you're being challenged with the Two of Pentacles, so it feels like you are kind of going back and forth. You're juggling these two ideas, potentially your previous understanding with this new truth, like, you know, how can this make sense? How can I put these two things together? Yeah, you may feel like your world, like your emotions are a bit turbulent right now. It might actually be hard to integrate this new truth that's happening for you. And the card that we got for your past energy is the Lovers reversed. So there could definitely have been a breakup in love. There could have been a you know, like a separation with someone that you thought was your soulmate. Definitely something like that. I can also just feel like there was a decision that was made that may have you know, hurt your heart, like something that felt like a breakup, or like a break in a certain like romantic viewpoint that you had, you know, like something that kind of like shattered that like childlike sense of everything's good and everything's great kind of feeling. And it can also show, like, because the lovers can also be like a decision that we need to make. It can show that you might have been feeling blocked from being able to make this decision, like maybe feeling, you know, even questioning if there is like true love out there for you, or if there's like ever going to be that like innocent, fun, perfect person for you. But with this truth coming out, Spirit is reminding you that, you know, one, there definitely is, because with the lovers, we can always, like, the lovers is here. It's just in reverse. You're just feeling blocked from it. So there is a, you know, a soulmate or someone that's going to be true for you, but it just looks like you're in a different phase of your life right now. And as I said, if it was a breakup or the dissolution of a relationship, that might have been like the kick you needed to get into your own energy, to start thinking about things more deeply, and to get back aligned with your soul. Because we do have the Ace of Swords here, where it's like a truth coming out. Now, for your next step, we get the Emperor. So it does feel like you will get a handle on prioritizing and juggling, like making your mind up, being able to decide how you're going to move forward with this new truth in regards to your life. With the Emperor here, it's like you're going to be able to create your own foundation. You're going to be able to take command, take action, have authority in your life, and be able to likely lead others, because it's like an Aries card, and it's also a which is cardinal, which is all about leadership. It's also a fiery card, which matches well with Leo. So yeah, like people may look to you in the coming few days to give advice to, to assist you in whatever this path is that you're going to try to bring forward. So, and maybe to feel as if that you're not needing to sacrifice as much to get this thing done. You know, the Emperor is able to delegate. He's a strong leader who's got people under him who trust him, and he's able to obviously balance the needs of many with his own needs and with the what's best for the collective. So that is coming up. You're stepping into that energy. What we can see that you're focused on here is we have the Nine of Pentacles and the Queen of Swords in reverse. So if you're a masculine, this could definitely have to do with like a past relationship, like earth sign or an air sign. So that is Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. It could be someone that represented these qualities that's no longer in your life, and kind of still focusing on the loss of that energy in your life and missing it. If you're a feminine, this can represent you where, and even if you're a masculine or feminine, like take it as it resonates, because it could be you know, either angle that you're resonating with, or even both. Like it could be a male of one of those signs that you're missing. It could also be a more of an energy where, like, for example, the Nine of Pentacles, it's all about like this wealth that she's grown herself. She's very independent and stable. So you might be questioning your own like ability to bring everything together, to be able to create your own wealth and to move forward as a self-sustaining, like individual, strong, abundant force. You may be feeling like worn out from all of the things you're taking in, and kind of doubting the abundance and the just the natural flow of energy, like questioning, like, am I going to be able to do this all on my own? Am I going to be able to be abundant and resourceful and rich and wealthy doing this for myself? I'm kind of doubting that energy. And then we get the Queen of Swords, where it's like, again, like maybe doubting that you have the wisdom and the knowledge to be able to move this thing forward, kind of looking at everything that could possibly go wrong rather than focusing on what could go right. And yeah, like maybe even like struggling to like, maybe it feels like just like focusing on negatives, like focusing on all the things that could go wrong, focusing to like doubting your own logic, doubting your own ability to be practical and stable. And that's really in your conscious mind. That could be as well with the Two of Pentacles, why you feel like you're juggling everything at the moment. But with the Emperor there, it is showing that, you're going to be able to step into this energy stronger, more capable, and full of vitality, full of enthusiasm and inspiration. But yeah, some work may be needing to be done, like healing this, knowing that you have the ability to endure and to really embrace your own individuality in the situation. The energy that we have as the unconscious driver is the sun. So this is a Leo card, which is fantastic. It's that feeling of like everything's blooming, everything's illuminated, getting new understandings, seeing the world in a bigger, brighter way. Really being able, like, so there's like a big subconscious drive where like there has been an illumination. You've been able to see things more clearly. You're able to recognize maybe yourself better and also your own talents and abilities. Wanting to embrace your more like childlike side and bring this into everything as well. And it just feels like, yeah, like seeing the world through the eyes of a child, maybe really connecting with your inner being, your spiritual self, and remembering like, yes, like getting a reinvigoration of your passion of like why I'm here, what I truly want to do, what I want to be known for. Leos love to like, they want to make a difference in the world and they want to be recognized. They're the sun, but they want to be recognized and like adored and loved for something that has value and like that they feel has is dignified and can really like help others. So we're getting that feeling here as well. I'll see, what is your higher self advice with tarot? Beautiful. Is there any further? Awesome. Okay, and we get two cards of Taurus, the Empress and the Hierophant. So with the Empress as your higher self's first indication of like how it would handle things, it's remembering that like you have a very powerful feminine energy, whether you're a male or female. And being in your feminine energy allows you to receive rather than to take action and put your energy out. If you're sitting on your throne in your power, there's an abundant harvest here for you. There are lots of things that you're going to be attracting into your path that you need, to not focus so much on like the possibilities of things that can go wrong and rather embrace that childlike innocence, the sense of play and joy, and to reconnect with what it is that you truly love, what you're truly passionate about, because that's going to help fuel you to move forward and understand the best ways to make a change in this world or to follow your path in the best way that you possibly can. We also get the Hierophant. So again, like listening to your spirit guides, having a strong connection with the divine. It can also show that like, I feel like it's like you being like a guide to others, not needing to assert your power, because we have the Empress here. It's like knowing that you're going to attract the right people that need your advice, that need your wisdom. You don't need to overly exert yourself and, go out and like, be like an old religious figure that's like, you have to listen to this or else this and that. It's rather like letting the right people be attracted to you, seeing, living by example and staying in your power, living in your like beautiful, feminine, generous energy. And that's attracting people who seek to ask you things, who want to know what you're doing. It's like seeing that person who's had like a massive glow up and they don't need to get in your face and be like, oh, like I've done this and this and you should do it. It's more like attracting different people that are like, oh my God, what have you been doing lately? Like, I just want to get advice from you because you seem so like you're glowing and you have all this like innate wisdom and knowledge, and like people can sense it in your aura. They can sense it in the way you walk and how you hold yourself. So your higher self's reminding you of that, Leo, and reminding you that, yeah, to be in your power at this time, to really focus on, again, like what makes you passionate, what makes you feel abundant and wealthy, to know that a harvest is coming and that you have to be humble about your knowledge and to let the right people be attracted to you and come to you. Okay, so let's get some higher self advice, and then we're going to jump over to Patreon. So higher selves of Leo, do you have any final advice for them in this stage in their lives? Is there another? Cool. All right. So your first card of advice, Leo, is embrace your life purpose. So this could definitely have something to do with your life purpose. It says, I am guiding you toward your divine life purpose. Whatever makes your heart joyful is what you're meant to be doing. And she's got a little cat there and a little butterfly. So cats and butterflies could be giving you extra signs of when your higher self and source are talking to you and trying to give you like little nudges and more information about what is your life purpose, or where you're most beneficial to go to, what's most beneficial for you to go towards. So pay attention to cats and butterflies, and also maybe writing. Automatic writing might also be assisting you to really nut out what your life purpose is and how you're going to do this thing. We get it's almost over. So your current challenges will soon be resolved, and you'll be able to look to the future with a smile. Beautiful. So if you do have a more manipulative energy around you, that it's almost over, it's going to end, and you're going to come out on top of this more stronger, more capable, and more beautiful than before. And then we get don't settle for less. So you are a child of the divine. You deserve to have your dreams come true. Don't give up. Yeah, I think if you're persistent on your path, you're, reminding yourself of everything that can go right, writing down the ideas and things that you're getting so that you don't forget about them. I think there's going to be something in your future where you're opening up and all this beauty, all this wonder, all this passion is kind of flying out at you, and you realize how much you are worth, and you're glad that you didn't give up, and that you stayed true to your dreams. Okay, Leo, well, let's leave it there for now. I'm going to jump over to Patreon, and I'd love to see you guys over there. If not, thank you so much for being here. Please like, share, comment. I really appreciate it. It helps get these messages out there if you leave a comment or if you share it on your social media. So please do if you're able to. And otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.